That accent. A Brit explaining Canadian politics while his own country burns.
What? Morning and welcome to Sunday's video where we take a look at something. Today, something that I'm actually got some knowledge about, and that's immigration. Because believe it or not, this isn't the most perfect Canadian accent. No, I'm not from these parts. And we'll take a look at your comments. Okay, we're going live. 5 minutes. Bring in the nodders. Bring the nodders. Let's listen to what Trudeau's got to say on his backtracking on immigration.
Canadians are justifiably proud of our immigration system. It has made our economy the envy of the world. It's how we've built strong, diverse communities. It's how we've demonstrated that differences can and must be a source of strength, not a source of weakness for communities and society. Immigration is vital to our future. And as a federal government, we have to make sure that that pride, that faith in immigration is not undermined. Today, we're announcing that we will reduce the number of immigrants we bring in over the next 3 years, which will result in a pause in the population growth over the next 2 years.
Yeah, I came over during the Harper years, 2008. We emigrated to Canada, and it was tough. It was tough to get here. It took us over a year to put all the applications through. Cost thousands of English pounds. I'm not from Australia, I'm from England. So many people say, are you from Australia? No, England, mate. England, Blackpool. Yeah, near Manchester, because nobody knows where Blackpool is. So for me to come over here, I had to prove that I could speak English. I had to prove that I could look after myself, that I had enough money to pay for my family, to live and to buy food, which, to be honest, stuff wasn't as expensive then as it is now. I didn't have to prove I was living anywhere, although I did get a hotel for the first month when we came over, and then we did the rental thing for a few years before we bought a home. I 100% had to prove that I had a job to go to, and what was the other thing? Medical. I had to prove that I had medical insurance, so if I got sick, I could pay for my own medical insurance, and we had to take out an insurance policy to cover us for the first 3 months until we got settled into my new job. And then with my new job, I could I would have paid into the system, and then I could reap the health service. I'm near an airport today, and you can hear the aeroplanes. So yeah, but now Trudeau's backtracking. He's brought millions of people into the country without a thought about where they're going to go, what they're going to do. They're camping on the streets. There's no the unemployment has gone up. I think it's gone up 6.7% at the moment, because what's happening is that the interest rates are plummeting down, which is a sign that the banks like scrolling around trying to get people to buy stuff and to go back to the stores and to buy anything other than food. The things that have gone up due to a crazy carbon tax that the Liberals brought in is food. Delivery prices for food have made food so unaffordable. And also other things that have gone up is just travel. Carbon tax on travel, heating on your home. Everything that fuel touches has gone up in price. And that's just, can you imagine 4 more years of Trudeau? That'll be 4 more carbon tax increases every April Fool's Day, right up until we just can't afford to drive and we can't afford to do anything. And then they'll say, well, we should all be driving electric cars, but they're bringing a 100% tariff on Chinese cars, which would be affordable. And on top of that, electricity is going to be so expensive because there'll be high demand. And you know what it's like with homes, with housing, demand and supply. Well, supply, demand. At the moment, the demand for houses is like astronomical. Where I live, for someone to sell a house, it takes weeks. It takes weeks to sell a house. Not months, not years. In England, it took us almost 6 months to sell our house. In Canada, you could probably sell it within the week because there's so many people lining up wanting houses. Anyway, it's enough waffle. Let's get on with your comments.
It'd be Canada first and Canada only. That's what I am, a nationalist.
Like and subscribe.
So we'll kick the comments off with something that Schwag said. Now, this was on the 2 years of Mr. Trudeau's Liberal scandals in 2 minutes. Schwag says, "Oh, and P, this video was almost impossible to find. YouTube is getting better at hiding your content." Yeah, YouTube is. It's getting really good at hiding everybody's content. I was listening to Derek on Unacceptable Fringe the other day, and they're suppressing a lot of his content too, especially the stuff about that guy running for president in America. You know the guy. Seems that any videos with that guy on them gets well suppressed. Except if you're Joe Rogan. Yeah, he did quite well, didn't he? It can be difficult to find content sometimes on YouTube because a lot of the stuff the government don't want you to see. They'd rather you just go and watch CBC and believe their stories. Glitch in the Matrix. Liberals win a majority in New Brunswick. Trudeau's new people planning action. New people. Yeah, I put a report on there and they were talking about how there's a lot of new people in New Brunswick. So I talked earlier about me coming over with my family and how we had to go through a lot of things. But something I didn't mention then was that the fact that the immigration lawyer who used to put all my papers forward for PR, they mentioned that if I wanted to go to New Brunswick, it would be so much easier because they have this this setup that helps people come over much easier. So they've always had that setup, not just under the Liberals, but I think the Liberals have just milked it a little bit more than anyone else and absolutely filled that place up with new people. And now it's showing. So those new people are obviously getting citizenship and going out and voting for the government that gives them the biggest handouts, I guess. Ken said,
Never underestimate the stupidity of the Canadian voter.
I don't think the Canadian voter is that stupid. It's just a certain demographic of poster, certain level of intelligence that you get with a far left voter. Like, have you ever noticed how angry far left people get? Like, we talk on here, we chat and stuff, and we go, oh no, what's happened now? Oh no. If you're watching a far left channel, or you watching anything that's videoed from somebody or from a protest that's far left, the anger that you get from these people is absolute. It's ridiculous, and it just shows that that is not the peaceful way to go about running a country. It's by utilizing far left tactics. Gibb says,
All I say is good luck to New Brunswick with your Liberal socialist regime.
Ariel says,
Oh, New Brunswick, you've done it now. Please separate from Canada. Keep the Liberals to yourselves. What are you thinking?
That's what I thought when I saw that. I'm like, what? That's why I called it, what? A glitch in the Matrix. Yeah, 100%. Ted said,
Oh my God, wake up New Brunswick. You get the government you deserve and you have made a huge mistake.
Massive mistake. Keith said,
What on earth are the people of New Brunswick thinking? Apparently, she ran on identity politics. Hard to believe people fall for this nonsense.
Yeah, and this. She's running on this.
I spent time in government where we were pushing a digital ID project, this notion that every New Brunswicker would have.
This lady wants digital ID. She wants to push digital IDs. I no words. Alison said,
It's all DEI and pride nonsense.
Yeah, did you see her husband when they were doing the speech, the winning speech at the end? He got a big check out his belt buckle. Mike said,
New Brunswicker here. I am absolutely disgusted with the outcome. We've always voted Conservative. I have no clue what was in everyone's mind. I have heard the Liberals went to senior care centres province-wide and tried to convince the older folks to vote Liberal. I have no way to prove this. I only heard this. And look at the results.
Wow, that's meddling in that's interference from within, if it's true, allegedly. This could change everything. What Poilievre said in this announcement will end the Trudeau Liberals. That wasn't clickbait. What you said, what Polyev said about the Liberal MPs calling him up, talking to him behind like closed doors secretly. Yeah, it's they don't want the Trudeau Liberals. They don't want Trudeau to be in charge of the Liberals. We do. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do. I think they want Trudeau to stay in charge so that he goes down with the ship. But the actual Liberal MPs don't want it. No, because they're not going to get voted in, are they? As long as Trudeau is still the PM and the leader of the Liberal Party, everything they do is linked to him. Stevie says,
all about their seats, nothing about Canadian citizens' issues. These MPs have no shame or integrity.
He's right. That's what it's about. It's about keeping their seats. I don't think it's about the Canadians and what Canadians want anymore. It's about winning an election. Murray said,
true words. No Trudeau, no problems.
Sure, they probably said that with Trudeau's father, didn't they? Pierre Trudeau. Kelly said,
they are like rats deserting a sinking ship. Where have they been the last 9 years? They were supposed to be representing their constituents.
No, they were reaping the rewards of being voted into Parliament, and now they're going to be on the unemployment list. I'm pretty sure most of them have saved up enough money to survive, though, don't you? Or have pensions to rely on. Edward said,
only the backbenchers are against him. The one on the front have pockets full of our money.
Yeah, Freeland, Holland, everybody like that, all the front benchers. I'm sure they've made a good amount of money out of this. You're my hero one.
What Pierre said at the 115-ish mark is that these people are more afraid of losing their jobs than standing up for Canadians. This is why our system is broken and needs an overhaul. Term limits are a must for PM and sitting MPs.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like two years term limit for the actual PM. So they could probably, if they won an election on a third term, they would have to change their leader, I guess. What do you guys think? Just leave us a comment. Do you think we should have term limits for prime ministers? Blah.
They all need to lose their jobs as they have toed the line all along.
Lindsay says,
they need to go down. They supported Trudeau for 9 years. They are worried about themselves. They don't give a hoot for us Canadians. They
don't know. There's nobody wants to make Canada better. None of them care. Power said,
we're all waiting for the next non-confidence vote, of course, and we'll be pleasantly surprised if many of the Liberals abstain from voting, period. With the majority of Canadians wanting a new government, we are all waiting with bated breath for the next federal election.
Aren't we? Aren't we just? Jean Marie said,
1 more year. They botched the rebel retaliation, and half of them are hiding like children going to get into trouble.
No, not a year, Jean. Another year? No! I can't do another year of this. Island Gardner said,
Jag will not give up his pension willingly.
Might not be up to him. If the backbenchers even just abstain from voting, that's 20-30 votes that Trudeau hasn't got, and the Bloc vote for the motions to have a carbon tax election, and all the Conservatives obviously they vote, then yeah, it might not even matter what Jagmeet does. Sono full loading.
Name all Liberal traitors.
And then Shadow Beagle said,
name all the Conservative traitors.
And I'm thinking, just name them all. Trudeau can do that. He can come out and he can name them all. He can name every single one of them. If there was a lot more Conservative traitors than there was Liberal traitors, or even any, don't you think he would have piped up and said, look, got some shocking news for everybody. Look at what the Conservatives have done. Look at this. Look at the traitors. That would be great for him, wouldn't it? It would be good for Trudeau to come out and tell everybody all about all the Conservative traitors that there are. But there obviously aren't any, because he's not done that, has he? Brian said,
if this carbon tax goes through in April, it could very well end my days as an owner-operator a tank truck in the patch. The last jump took a lot of slashing on my part to keep operating, and at the same time stay competitive. To say I'm concerned would be the understatement of the year. These Liberals that are against this tax, they could cross the floor. Not only would that send a very strong message to Conservatives, might just be able to get a non-confidence, providing, of course, all 24 crossed over. That's a really big if, though.
Yeah, Brian's a truck driver. He drives the tankers in the patch. And Brian, they don't need to cross over. They just need to not vote. You just need to say, look, I'm staying out of this one. I'm not voting. And that could push it. One pride lion.
That accent. A Brit explaining Canadian politics while his own country burns.
What? What's wrong with my accent? I've been in Canada. I've been in Canada for well over 20 years. It's a great Canadian accent, is it not? Hey, sorry. yeah. England is UK is. It's got a double bad Trudeau government in charge of England at the moment. There's no saving it. Japongiver says,
PP is all about removing the carbon levy but has no plan to put in its place. Canada has undertaken to take action to reduce carbon, and we will be held to account to do that on our part.
By who? Who's going to hold us? Who? The WEF? Who? Who's going to hold us to account? Who gives a fuck about any of that? Like, everyday people can't be paying for the rest of the world in Canada who emits what, 2%, max 1.8% into the weather. Yeah, it's all it is. It's a controlling gesture. That's all it is. Bill Scott says
61 cents a litre? Are you serious or delirious?
that's how much it could go up to by 2030. That's the tax on the tax with the tax. Eric says,
nothing new here. Keep scrolling.
Yeah, we still get the odd troll. At least we must be doing something right to get the odd troll into the comments. Okay, see you on Monday, guys.